Obama said his worst mistake was not planning for the day after in Libya. Putin said, you practically did the same thing. You're doing the same thing in Syria. That's a pretty good point. Anyway, so we have to plan for the day after. Look, the CIA missed the end of the Cold War, and they missed the return of God. If you do offerings and consult an oracle, God will talk just like in the Bible. You'll discover God's world is perfectly just, and so there's going to be less stupidity. And fuck you, we just want kick-ass temple day after. So, viruses. Here's the plan. We want this to be like a Commodore 64 where all the games relied just on the ROM. Okay, I have banned third-party libraries. I do not want third-party libraries. That I set a limit of 100,000 lines of code. If you look at the help, it's critical that you see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what makes this so cozy and adorable. Is you can, it's small. I set a limit of 100,000 lines of code. The whole purpose is to be a small thing like the Commodore 64. It's 5 times bigger than the Commodore 64 ROM, but I said I want no third-party libraries. Now there's a guy who made an ISO. If you go to the third party, only 2 people have made third party stuff. This guy distributes as an ISO. That's basically taking everything, taking along. We could have no hard drive installation and do everything from ISO. That's not necessary, but it's an option. So the question is, do you understand what I'm saying? It would be kind of like a game system where it's on a CD. I don't even know what those are like anymore. But anyway, you can do it with an ISO, and as a matter of fact, I am commanding Intel to put TempleOS burned into a ROM on the CPU chip in the factory. It has not a Quran for other countries, but everybody gets the Bible. This is imperialism. We are the Holy Roman Empire. We are putting English as the new Latin, and we will. God said to pay our national debt with the revenue from the temple computer. We're going to make a 100% standardized computer. In the early days, it was they designed for flexibility because it was an immature industry and they couldn't see where it was going to go. But now it's a mature industry. Well, non-volatile memory is new, but it's a mature industry. We want 2-button mice with a wheel, no more. We lock down everything into minimum flexibility because that's what enables. It's a lot easier. Do you know what you have to do if? Well, anyway, so we're gonna have one monitor, 4K. I don't even know what that means. TempleOS will run 640, 480, 16 color. Anyway, we're going to have the TempleOS burned into a ROM. When you hit the regular power on, it'll be a normal computer with UEFI. But all desktops are going to have a reset button. And when you hit the reset button, it boots the TempleOS ROM. So every time you hit the reset button, it boots it without a diagnostic. It's really fast. When you hit the reset button, pow, you get your system back. Okay, so if we're burning it on the ROM, we can probably give Russia a font. Just because we're nice, we give them a font. So I heard there is a Russian font for the upper 128. And so what we'll do is Control Alt F. We'll toggle between fonts. What they can do is make their own version for the hard disk. It won't be a ROM version, but the way this is supposed to work is we want one language and one architecture. The whole point is simplicity. If you made it for all the world internationalized, at that point it would lose its purpose. Its purpose is simplicity for. So I don't care if Russia makes a version for themselves. If Russia really wanted to, they could go in here and change. You could change all the text to Russian. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you like. That's kind of how it's supposed to be. Except let's do a miracle. So we're giving the King James Bible on the ROM. English is the language of programming anyway. Russians know English. The Germans don't like English. The Russians like English. There's a song about grumpy Germans not liking English. Well, fuck you. Grumpy Germans don't like English. Okay, so House of the Lord. Hilkiah the priest found a book of the law of the Lord given by Moses. Hilkiah answered and said to Shephem the scribe, I have found the book of the law of the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah delivered the book to Shephen. Shephen carried the book to the king and brought the king word back again, saying, all that was committed to thy servants, they do it. And they have gathered together the money that was found in the house of the Lord, and have delivered it to the hand of the overseers and to the hand of the workmen. Then Shephan the scribe told the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath given me a book. And Shephan read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the law, he rent his clothes. And the king commanded Hilkiah and Ahikam the son of Shephan, and Abdon the son of Micah, Shephan the scribe, and a servant of king, saying, go inquire of the Lord for me. Look at this. Go inquire of the Lord for me, and for them that are left in Israel and in Judah, concerning the words of the book that is found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is poured out on us, because our fathers have not kept the word of the Lord to do after all that is written in this book. Okay, Mr. God. I like the happy words. Let's give God the happy word. Happy words. You got money somewhere? Okay, good enough.